This is the Apostle Paul. And as you know, he was given a thorn in the flesh. Now, I know some other people that say, well, I got a thorn in the flesh. It probably wasn't for the same reason that Paul's thorn in the flesh was there. Paul said that a thorn was given to him in the flesh because of the abundance of revelation, so he wouldn't get beside himself. And so, if God uses you, he has to let something happen to you to let you know you are not God. That there's only one God, and you're not him. I'm not him. I don't have it twisted. So as soon as you think that you're riding high and on top of the world and everything, God will just let some stuff happen just to remind you of your humanity. So that was given to him because of the abundance of revelation. That was given to him a thorn in the flesh. And I have heard for many, many years and have studied it in theology about all of these suppositions about what Paul's thorn in the flesh was. Somebody said he had a disease and it was his eyes and all kinds of stuff, his stature, the bone structure and all kind of stuff. Because Paul was a little short man, bow-legged, and different kinds of issues. And they would theorize all kinds of things about what in the world was Paul's thorn. What was his thorn? If you read the Bible, he tells you. Paul said that the thorn was the messenger of Satan sent to buffet him. To buffet means to give one blow after another. Pow, 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 pow. And listen, sometimes the way that you recognize the messenger of Satan sent to buffet you is that when you start having an inordinate amount of attack in an area that is unwarranted. And so some different things, tons of different things can start happening. Every time you go somewhere and stuff happens. Every place Paul went, trouble was stirred up. He wound up in jail, beaten. I mean, they castigated him so many different times. And Paul said, but this is not natural. I didn't even do anything to these folks. And and I'm being thrown. He said, this is the messenger of Satan who is sent to buffet me. He's trying to counter me every place that I go. I'm having demonic opposition. Every place I go, every job I get on, here comes the devil again. Sometimes that stuff is not even natural. Every relationship I get in, here it again, somebody trying to abuse me. And you ought to realize this is not anything that I have done myself. This is the messenger of Satan that is stirring up trouble every place that I go. And when you discern that thing, you can then start taking authority over it. And so now the Apostle Paul, he's fed up because he's human. He is human. He is human. And you know what? I'm just as human as you are. Being called into the ministry does not promote you out of your humanity. He leaves us in our humanity to let us know that you are not there yet. You are not there yet. You are not there yet. So Paul had this thorn in the flesh, this messenger of Satan that was sent to buffet him. And listen, this is the one thing that I want you to really get. That when God does not change your situation, maybe it's time to realize that he's trying to change you. When God does not change your situation, maybe it's time to realize that he's trying to change you. And you don't get jacked up by what happened to you. Listen, without closure, the bad stuff that you had before is going to follow you. If you don't have closure, the bad stuff that you had before is going to follow you where you're going. If you didn't discover what was wrong with me or what was wrong with him and what in me drew these qualities to that person, if you don't figure that out from that last relationship and bring closure to that, you're going to draw another abuser because you're still bleeding and you're going to draw another shark. And until you figure out what you're doing wrong, what's wrong with my decision-making process that everybody I get is a dog or a witch? It can't be something that's wrong with the whole world. Something is wrong with your decision-making. What's in me that keeps drawing me to this? I got to deal with something in here before I get ready to go into now other relationship. And it's finding that out. And if you don't find closure to what caused you to be drawn to that type, you're going to take the type that you came from back here and you're going to be attracted to that same type up here. It's amazing how we still deal with the same type because we haven't had closure to what keeps drawing us to that. Because you have a bad situation, after a while that type should cease to be pretty to you. It's amazing. But isn't it amazing how you become qualified because you go through some stuff that is uncomfortable? You know, I'm so glad that Jesus could take negative things that happened to him and then let it work out for somebody else's good. With his stripes, he was beaten. The pain that came on him, they ripped his flesh open. With his stripes, we are healed. Now, we're made in his image. He's our example. Now, if the stripes, the stuff that hurt him, was used to heal other folks, what are you doing with your stripes? What are you doing with your stripes? Every abused woman ought to have a mission to say, you know what, I don't want another woman to go through what I've been through. Everybody that's lost a child to drunk driving ought to say, I don't want another mother to feel this. Everybody that had a child to drop out of school, I don't want another parent to have the disgust of that. And you ought to let what whipped you, what hurt you, propel you, because when what you've been through has qualified you. You are qualified. You don't even know why God trusted you with so much pain. Listen, maybe the thing that you went through has qualified you to the degree, because I'm telling you, when folks have gone through hell and high water, they have been qualified in a way that a person who's never gotten their feet wet and their hands are still soft, and you haven't had anybody to serve you because you had to roll your own sleeves up and serve yourself and work like a dog ever since you were. Who am I talking to in this place today? Well, all the days of your life, and the stuff, it didn't kill you, it made you strong. It made you where, you know, if folks say bad things to you, I can help myself. I realize I'm qualified. If you walk out of my life, it's okay. It's not the first time. I've been on my own ever since I was 16 years old. You kind of make it and say, you know what? You're not the first person that has left me. The Lord was with me that time, and he'll be with me in this. Who am I talking to? You are qualified, 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 qualified. Oh, you go through some stuff and he will qualify you. Just remember, the past does not define you, it prepares you. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. It's a place of reference. That's where I've been. That's where I got my schooling. That's where I've got my degree. Some of you have advanced degrees from the University of Adversity. You've got graduate degrees from the School of Hard Knocks. You're qualified. You are qualified. You know what it is like to run out of money and have to trust God. You know what it's like to be sick and not have the insurance premium money. And to be in such a position where you can't even afford the copay to go to the doctor. And you got to trust him and say, Jesus, I'm too sick. I don't feel like going to work today. But I got somebody who's dependent on me. I got to go. You got to strengthen me, God. Help me, God, because I'm hurting, but I got to go. I don't feel like it. I need to be in this bed, but somebody's dependent on me. I got to feed my babies. Because if I don't feed them, and somebody is qualified today because you didn't let what happened to you kill you or define you. It developed you. Qualified, qualified, qualified.